Hey guys, what is going on? We're going to be back here doing another Madden 20 video. This time it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about maybe which team we're going to be playing with in Madden 20. So, yeah, I'm just kind of here to see what you guys want to see for Madden 20, just for a franchise currently. I'm not talking about career modes, because that's going to be different by itself. You know, I'm not sure what kind of career modes I'm going to start out with, but we definitely do need to narrow down the franchise. So we're going to start with a couple of teams. Obviously, I don't want to start with a real powerhouse like Cleveland's out of it, you know, Kansas City, teams like that that are already stacked. I do want to have a pretty tough time to start out the rebuild with the franchise I picked. So maybe something like Arizona could be cool. Maybe Baltimore, they lost a couple of pieces. But, yeah, let's go ahead and hop right into it here. So a team that I've been looking at possibly doing is the 49ers. I know they got Jimmy G and a couple of nice pieces defensively, but other than that, they definitely do have problems. Offensive line is concerning. You need a couple of weapons. They do have Goodwin. They do have Deebo Samuel, but still, they got some question marks on their team for sure. We don't know how Garoppolo's health is going to really be. They picked up Tevin Coleman at the running back spot. They definitely have some nice pieces. I would say, be a middle of the team road or higher. That's probably playoffs first year, I would imagine, if we do select them, but that's an option. We also have an option of maybe, like I said, Arizona. They have a lot of question marks. Receiver, Fitzgerald's a dinosaur at this point, so we're not going to be really probably planning on having him long term. Defensively, it's pretty tough. They lost Honey Badger. There's been a lot of trade rumors about Pat Pete. You know, I don't know if he's going to get traded before the season starts. Just offense in general, David Johnson, he's going to have a breakout year. You'll see how Kyler Murray does, so that would be a fun team possibly to do. Those are NFC teams. What about some AFC teams? The Jets, I guess you could say, would be a fun one to do. They're kind of stacked now, to be honest, though. But it might still be a fun one to do. You start with an all-star running back in Le'Veon Bell. But Sam Darnold, you don't know how he's going to develop. He might have star development, have a breakout season. Receivers are pretty nice there, though. You're going to have Robbie Anderson, Jermaine Kearse. Just some decent receivers up there in New York. Offensive line, they're starting to build it a little bit better, starting with Osemele. Just building around some pieces on their O-line. Defense is real nice. They got C.J. Mosley. They picked up, who did they pick up? They picked up somebody else on defense. Quinnen Williams. Yeah, they drafted Quinnen Williams. Very nice defensive tackle in the draft. So they got a lot of pieces to work with. I would definitely say that would be a higher up one. Now, once we start getting lower, I would say it would be teams like Buffalo. Buffalo is probably one of the lowest teams you could go with. That might actually be a team I go with. You know, that's possible. These are the kind of teams I want to do, you know, a franchise with. Because I want to start the franchise, because anybody can rebuild a franchise, you know. It just takes time. So I want the franchise to be really as hard as it can be. And I think Buffalo's would be like that. Because you're starting with some veteran receivers that are going to start regressing most likely in Cole Beasley, Jerron Brown. You do have at quarterback Josh Allen. You'll see how he can develop. His accuracies are probably going to be all over the place to start out. He's not going to be a real skillful guy to start out the franchise. You're probably going to have to work him up, try to build him up through upgrades, doing good in the season and such. So, yeah, Buffalo, I would say, is probably one of the top options. They need tight end help. They need offensive line help. They need receiver help. Running back help is going to be needed. LaShawn McCoy, maybe on the trading block or maybe released this year. They don't know really what's going down there. He's an aging running back. So literally almost every position on offense for Buffalo needs an upgrade. So you got that going for you. Then you look at defense, and it's not really much better if we're being honest. They do have the real nice, going into his third year now, cornerback in Tre'Davious White, who I'm a fan of. So you start with a nice corner. You have two nice safeties in Poyer and Micah Hyde. Defensive line's a bit tough. You're going to have trouble getting after some people, but the pick of Ed Oliver is definitely going to help out interiorly. They have the rookie youngster Tremaine Edmonds going into his second year. Maybe a protege linebacker, you never know. I think he is going to be the leader of this defense for a while to come, so that could be a fun one to do. So, I mean, Buffalo definitely does have 2 or 3 nice pieces to work with, like Ed Oliver, Tremaine Edmonds, maybe Josh Allen if he upgrades well. So teams like that is what I'm thinking. Maybe, you know what? Maybe now Pittsburgh, they could be a team to rebuild. The Steelers, that's a fair option. Yeah, it definitely. I know I'm not really talking about teams we're going to do here, but the video is really kind of just to see what you guys want to see. So I'm just throwing out suggestions, and you guys in the comment section, just let me know what team you would want to see and maybe that you think would be cool or not. I think Pittsburgh could be a fun one. I really do. Because they lost Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, so those are 2 huge losses right there. They're going to have Juju Smith-Schuster still, so you're still going to have a nice receiver. You're going to have Big Ben, who is most likely on the downside of his career. Probably won't be there the whole franchise, to be honest. Probably going to have to find a replacement for him. Offensive line is good, but it's not elite. Let's say that. It's an average O-line for Pittsburgh. Running back, you're going to have James Conner, so you're going to start with something there. You're not going to be really left with nothing. You're going to have James Conner, who's a nice running back. He's not elite, but he's a nice running back to have. Defense is definitely going to be a bit better for Pittsburgh than it has been in the past. I feel like they traded up in the linebacker to really try to replace that whole Ryan Chase. He was left with that devastating injury to his spine he had a few years back. I definitely feel like that's what they traded up and went linebacker for. So you're going to have a linebacker, a nice speedy linebacker that they picked high in the draft. You're going to have TJ Watt, who should add some nice pressure. Cameron Hayward's still on the squad. Stephon Tuitt. Cornerbacks are still going to be tough for Pittsburgh. That's probably been their kryptonite, I would say, over the past couple of seasons is been their corners. They just can't get corners. I'm not sure why, but they've had a tough time trying to get those. But all in all, I think Pittsburgh's probably a tough team to rebuild. 100%. They're stuck in a tough division as well, because now you got Cleveland, who's going to be a powerhouse. You got Baltimore. Cincinnati's in that division as well. They're probably the lower end team of that spectrum if we wanted to go with Cincinnati. But man, Cincinnati, actually, you know what? Cincinnati, no, I'd say they're still better than Buffalo, to be honest. Quarterback is the only thing that's, I would say, better for Buffalo. But Cincinnati, they still have a nice receiving duo there in A.J. Green, who's still elite. Tyler Boyd, who's kind of taken a step forward in his career as a receiver. Offensive line shaky there for Cincinnati. They got a running back, though. Defense, probably, I would say, better than Buffalo's. Is there any other NFC team we might want to do? Probably stay out of the NFC West. I started a franchise with them for Madden 19. Let's see here. AFC South, maybe Tampa. Tampa could be a fun one. The Giants, they could be a fun one. The Giants, I would say, could be a real fun one, because the Giants are stuck in a really tough spot. They have a quarterback who's not got a great overall at all. We've seen I think he has like a 60 overall, 68 overall. I'm pretty sure the quarterback they drafted in the first round has. So that's something right there. You're going to start out with an all-star running back in Saquon Barkley. That's one of the only upsides you would have in picking the Giants here. So that's a fun one. So potentially the Giants, I would say, is definitely in top 3 now, because their defense is in shambles. They've traded away a couple of pieces. They've got rid of Odell, so you're not going to have a huge receiving target like that. Saquon, Sterling Shepard is about an average receiver. That's somebody you're going to start with. You got Evan Ingram, who is a really fast tight end, and I'm a fan of him, so you'd have him to start with. Offensive line's a bit tough. You got Nate Soldier getting a huge contract and really not living up to it, at least in last year's standards. So offensive line is concerning there for the Giants. Quarterback's concerning. You don't know how he's going to upgrade. Defense is especially concerning. They went from being almost an elite defense a couple years back when they made the playoffs to now their defense is just in shambles. So you're going to have to really rebuild that, in my opinion. So the Giants are up there, and then the other team was the Bucs. Quarterback Jameis Winston is entering his 5th-year option this year, so really all the cards are on the table for him. Is he the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Bucs, or is he going to be on another team next year? That could be a fun storyline to do. Receivers, you're going to have Mike Evans, who's a monster. He's a red zone monster. Offensive line's okay. I'd say it's an average O-line again. Defensively, you're going to have some nice players there defensively, 100%. They pick up Ndamukong Suh, kind of a trade there for Gerald McCoy. So they let go of McCoy, pick up Suh. Other than that, though, you're going to have some woes on defense. You're going to have some big woes on defense. They let go of a linebacker, a pretty good linebacker that Tampa did. So, yeah, I'd say Tampa's would also be a fun option. But you also know the NFC South is always a tough division to do. They're going to have O.J. Howard. Some nice receiving targets Tampa's going to have. I'd say they're going to have some of the better receiving targets out of the franchises I've named so far. You got O.J. Howard, you got Evans, you got Godwin. You just got some nice receivers to work with. So those are some of the teams I'm thinking about, guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking about down in the comments section below. I'm still not really sure where to go, you know. I'm just not sure. I haven't really narrowed it down. I do like the idea of the Giants, maybe. That could be a fun one to do. Let me know what you think about the Giants doing a franchise. But keep in mind, this is going to be a franchise that I do the whole year. So make sure you leave some recommendations that you guys won't mind seeing the whole year. Like the Giants, are you guys okay with, you know, them being a team, my team for the whole year, doing a franchise with them? Let me know down in the comment section below. And let me know some suggestions you guys have as well. I do like my franchises to be tough. So keep that in mind, guys. And if you guys are new to the channel, please hit that sub button. That would be greatly appreciated. Madden 20 is just right around the corner. And I'm super hyped for it to come out. I'll see you guys then. Peace out.